The ratio between these two videos is insane. Let's cut to the chase. Corruptive Barrier is here, I did my testing, results are about the same. We'll still talk about it anyways. Let's start off with the stage buff. Clearly, by the numbers presented, you can surmise that this boss is Anomaly favoring. Oh, and the Anomaly tech too, I guess. Aside from that, stunning the boss is very important, unless you want to lose out on damage. Cue the clip. Speaking of Premia, she's a stun-focused Anomaly dealer. Huh, what an odd timing. There just so happens to be an Anomaly stunner available right now! You get the point. This is the same gimmick Hoyoverse has been shoving down your throat for ages. Problem, solution, rinse and repeat. Yeah. Who would have thunk? Anyways, next up is the fight itself. Sanguine Sweeper is a very front-loaded boss, which seems to be a recent thing with bosses. Instead of having their mechanic executed after a stun, / after a duration of time passes, Sanguine Sweeper will try to initiate his mechanic as early as possible. You can surmise from that you probably shouldn't start nuking the boss until he brings out the barrier. The few seconds before he brings up his barrier are good enough to consider a prep phase. So set up your Anomaly on him, apply Yuzo's EX special on him, whatever it is, make sure to set it up before the barrier is up. Similar to previous bosses like Vesper, or my wife, I mean Primordial, he will have a parry phase without any glint marks. His parries aren't that hard to read, and their timing is far better synced in comparison to Vesper's, so you won't need to worry about any delays with it. With every parry, you contribute to the bonus score, so make sure not to miss any of them. Once parried to the max, a shutdown is triggered, which gives you time to continue your assault on the boss. You'll notice that his shutdown doesn't last very long, and he attempts to get himself back in the fight pretty quickly. That's why I again do not recommend you nuke him, as that damage could contribute to shredding the barrier he will be putting up. Speaking of the barrier, once the barrier is up, the boss will immediately start bum rushing you. What a bitch. I highly recommend you parry those, as they do result in the boss being temporarily stunned, and a bonus score received under the title of Forced Kneel. Unlike the previous parries, there is no single parry bonus from each individual parry. After this section, the boss will start mixing in unparryable attacks with the parryable ones. Similar to Miasma, parrying is a very crucial aspect to keep an eye out for, but not for the same reason. The Miasma bar covers the stun bar, meanwhile the Corruptive Barrier covers the HP bar. The value you get out of parrying, outside of the parry windows with bonus scores, is raising his stun meter ever so slightly. If you do not have Nongong, which we will get to in a moment, this is one of the few reliable ways you have to attempt to stun the boss. Look at me ankle break this furry dweeb.
Oh my goodness! Oh, nigga!
I also messed up the Anomaly timing with Miyabi, but I hit this sick ass spin, so... Back to the boss. You'll notice that past the first minute and a half, I'm beating up this boss. No joke. Past the segment at the beginning, I'm absolutely dogging on him. This is less fair in comparison to any Jujutsu Kaisen fight ever. The fact of the matter is, this boss is flimsy. Due to the Corruptive Barrier's anti-interruption, he may make you believe he is tanky, but he really isn't. Man's flimsier than a packet of... I don't know. Just know he's flimsy, okay? That's about it for the new mechanic and the boss himself. Let's talk teams. As you can see, I was running a Miyabi team, no Vivienne. I want to say I can optimize the score a bit more with a few adjustments, but I doubt it'll go that far past 30k. With that said, depending on the team you run, your experience will be very different. Let's start with non-Miyabi options first. Alice, Yanagi, and Arya all have a fun time with this boss. They're all pure Anomaly, and AoD is a direct counter to this archetype, so there is nothing to fret about there. Vivienne is a lifeline. If you have it, don't let go. Nongong, like I mentioned in the previous video, will most likely be the centerpiece to cracking this new Anomaly meta. A bloom is one thing, but there's no other stunner that exists that can support Anomaly and have a set that isn't directly countered by Corruptive Barrier. Trigger is a close second, but King of the Summit is practically meaningless here. Finally, let's talk about units that are countered by this mechanic. Any crit unit. Yeah, so about S-Rank Billy, I'm gonna make a whole video just for him, but just know, this is the worst possible outcome. Anyways, anyone who crits is immediately countered by this boss. That also includes Miyabi. Miyabi does have a leeway, however, which is simply building her for pure Anomaly. Cue the clip. Now, this isn't as bad as the ice resistance gimmick, purely because you can build an Anomaly-focused Miyabi. I don't think she'll be as strong, considering you're cutting off a part of her kit, but it will still work. For the next examples, know that I used the Rupture buff. No, I will not be talking about Rupture units here, but there's literally no other buff that is beneficial for attackers in this run. Fun times. One more contestant to talk about, shunguang. I'm almost certain that most people with shunguang will be able to brute force this boss, whether it likes it or not. Luckily, I have a few examples of people who managed to do so. With that said, do not rely on this for the future, especially if you are a Zhao and Suna merchant. This is not going to last long. On top of that, due to the stun requirement, this puts shunguang in a bit of a weird spot. shunguang doesn't really care for stuns. That is why Suna, shunguang, and Zhao exists to begin with. This completely invalidates that. Even worse, the stun frequency with shunguang isn't really optimal. You want her on field for as long as possible, so if your strategy is to nuke them the boss, it might not go so well without vertical investment. A few niche examples that I believe should be brought up. First of all, Hugo. Yeah, he's dead, man. Completely dead.
8 a.m. Wake up. Brush my teeth.
Go back to sleep, I'm a bum, nigga.
But, there is some hope. Due to the nature of double stun, you will be able to stun Sanguine Sweeper a lot with his team. There is a chance, and don't take it for granted, but there is a chance you'll be able to push through the barrier at a fairly reasonable time. The showcase is imperfect unfortunately, due to me not having dial-in on the Hugo account, but I want to say there is a fighting chance here, considering the nuke will be delivered outside of the damage reduction period consistently. Another niche situation to talk about, Seed. Generally speaking, Seed is countered by this as well, but considering how Seed plays, you may be able to apply enough overtime damage to shred through this. With that said, that is not a guarantee for 3-starring this fight at all. This is just a niche that may or may not work. Everyone else dies. Bernice is countered, Grace is weak, your only option for sub DPSs that isn't just upcoming units is gonna be Vivienne. Crit reduction is a very generic nerf, so Anomaly rises again I suppose. My final words on the matter, rest in peace Shungus, rest in peace Billy, and...